Hello, I'm Nikki Roach and I'm here at Northumbrian Water's Innovation Christmas Booster Festival. Let's go on in and find out what it's all about. I'm here in an absolutely extraordinary building. It's the boiler shop in the centre of Newcastle, right next to the railway station. And it's where Stephenson built his rocket. It's an absolutely ginormous room and I'm up high looking down on it. You can hear a choir in the background getting warmed up, all looking very festive. The whole point of this booster event is to supercharge some of the projects that came out of the Innovation Festival in the summer. There were over 50 projects that were generated at that festival, and the 5 that are deemed to be the highest potential projects have come to this Christmas booster event to share their progress, show what they've already delivered, and get lots of feedback from everybody that's coming along this afternoon to help supercharge them on their way to delivery.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Nigel Watson, CIO of Northumbrian Water Group. Welcome to the first All We Want for Christmas event. We're often asked after the festival what happens. We thought we'd try and give you a bit of a window into that world, if you like, and ask for a bit of help at the same time. But Christmas theme, definitely I have to attribute to our wonderful head of innovation, Angela. This lady absolutely loves Christmas, so, felt like a fitting tribute, if you like. What about the costume?
After Northumbrian Water's Chief Information Officer Nigel Watson had kicked off the Christmas booster for the 200 or so attendees inside, I tracked down their Christmas-loving Head of Innovation, Angela McCosker, for a quick chat about the purpose of the event. Angela, tell me why we're here today.
We are here today because after our Innovation Festival in the summer, which was all about speed and scale, we wanted to do something that would just give an even more boost to those wonderful projects that came out. Because what can happen is that there's a little bit of an impetus gap, and what we want to do is make sure that we are enabling the projects. So we have about 200 people who are going to be in our audience, and we've selected 5 of the highest potential projects.
What does good look like for you after today? I mean, a lot of fun, I would imagine. We always see that in the summer festival, but beyond the fun, what are you hoping for?
So everything that we do does have fun in it, but actually there is a real serious purpose underneath everything we do. And what we really want to do here is harness the power of this audience just to make sure that these projects have what they need to succeed, because it is hard. And with us doing speed and scale, we couldn't miss this opportunity just to turn the dial up a little bit and really give them that extra push. So what I would really like to see is that the 5 high potential projects have actually got some new connections, some new ideas and some new ways to really move even faster on the projects that are moving along. Because obviously we want as many of the projects to succeed, and this is our opportunity to do that.
Okay, so we've had 8 of the big summer innovation festivals, but this is your first Christmas booster event. So tell us a little bit about what's happened in the last 6 months and why you've decided this year to do a Christmas event too.
So this summer's event was all about speed and scale, and what we do every year is we iterate the format of the festival to make sure that we can maximise the potential of the output. And it is a little bit mind the gap, because after July everybody goes off on holiday, we then come back in September, and then we're headlong into Christmas. And what can happen is we can lose a little bit of traction in some of those projects, or perhaps some of those projects have formed a little bit more and have realised that they need things that they didn't have. So this event is purposely designed so then we'll actually fill in those gaps, and we'll actually give them all of the tools that they need and all of the things that maybe are missing, so then we can really maximise that potential for our business.
Brilliant. Well, enjoy the day. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, and so great that you're here.
The aim of this podcast episode is to give you a flavour of the Christmas Booster event, explore how it worked and get across the impact that it's had. To help us, we're using a structure borrowed from that festive classic, A Christmas Carol. But instead of stories of ghosts of Christmas past, present and future, we're telling the stories of the 5 innovation projects that were given a spotlight at the event. We'll talk about the present and the future of those projects in a bit, but let's start with the past and hear a bit about all 5 of the projects, where they got to already and what they wanted to get out of the Christmas Booster event.
My name is Richard Seals, and I'm the Head of Engineering for Northumbrian Water and the sponsor of the Wisdom Project. The Wisdom Data Engine, powered by AI, will act to capture and connect all relevant available asset and operational data of both structured and unstructured types. providing a means to connect data and gain insight into current asset status. We're hoping that from the Christmas event, we secure some additional expertise which will help us connect together the rich but separate data sources available to us.
My name's Richard Sutcliffe and I'm Head of Water Supply for Northumbrian Water in the North East, look after all the water treatment works that we have. And the project that we had was using AI to improve and reduce or optimise the amount of chemical we dose onto a water treatment works, which of course brings lots of benefits to it. It brings chemical reductions, there's a cost side of that, there's an environmental side to that, carbon side to that, energy side to that. There's massive benefits if we can optimise and just use the right amounts. We just want to share the progress we've made to date and take it forward into the new year with positiveness.
I'm here to talk about our exciting project, Hey Diva, a digital intervention virtual assistant. Our goal is to create a fully interactive visual outage planning tool, combining data-driven insights with the expertise of NWG and LWE teams to revolutionise outage management. We are wishing for a sharing of best practice from within the water sector and beyond to inspire and guide us, a supply chain working group bringing diverse perspectives together for collaborative problem solving, a business analyst, someone to document and formalise our processes, and a project manager to steer this initiative and keep us on track.
My name's Craig Holmes and I'm part of a team of 4 people from Northumbrian Water, and we're working in partnership with the National Robotarium on the Soft Vine Robots project. These are made of thin-walled tubes which are inverted on themselves. They can be inflated with air or liquid, and this causes them to grow from the tip. Because of this, they don't cause any friction with the surrounding environment, which allows them to navigate to and access areas that other robots, or humans for that matter, could not easily do. From this Christmas booster event, we're hoping to secure additional resource and support from business stakeholders to test the robot in a representative real-life environment. We'll be looking for funding and resource for future research and development into utilising soft vine robot solutions for asset repairs.
Hi, my name's Steve Blanks. This project is called Smart Skies, Healthy Waters. And essentially our project is to deliver a comprehensive mobile water quality monitoring system that will deploy drones and have this integrated autonomous lab in a box. This can be put on a boat, it can be put on a train, it can be put on a lorry and deployed anywhere around our coastline. So we're asking for water companies to trial the container and drone and lab in a box. We also need land, so we need somewhere where these containers can be sited. Lastly, we need input from our labs to make sure that what we're testing is accurate and as close to traditional wet-based, lab-based chemistry.
So good afternoon, it's great to see so many of you here embracing the festivities with Christmas jumpers.
Northumbrian Water's approach to innovation is pretty unique. They really focus on creating the ideal environment for creativity. So things like location, food and drink, entertainment and format are really thought about. Plus, they always provide external inspiration, something to make attendees think and open their minds before they start getting creative. At this event, music expert Mark Deeks gave a keynote speech that challenged people to think about music in an entirely new way.
I want you to create a new playlist in that app right now. And I want you to call it one of 2 things. Songs that make me smile, or songs that remind me of someone I love. And name the playlist that. It's just a mindfulness thing that you can do using music. It's something a little bit different than the usual same old that we hear about well-being. Thank you very much indeed, folks. Take care.
Now it was time to get creative. The event space had 5 carousels, little breakout areas with wooden benches surrounding a big screen, one for each project. Attendees could choose which project to go and help, and with 3 mini sprints scheduled throughout the afternoon, they could spend time with 3 out of the 5 projects. Each carousel had headphones for every audience member, and the presenters from each team were mic'd up. And there was a microphone in a ball which could be thrown between audience members for contributions and questions. So even though all 5 mini sprints were taking place in an open plan venue, everyone could hear exactly what they needed to. Going back to our past, present, future theme, this part of the event represented the present. What the 5 projects could actually do during the event, share their progress so far and get the contributions of the attendees. And I was keen to get involved. Right, so we're right in the middle of the event now. Everything's happening, everyone's sitting on their benches, headphones on, 5 carousels are in action. So I am going to go and dip into a couple of them, put my headphones on and hear what these projects are all about.
There's no mechanism in place to successfully monitor coastal environments at scale.
The first project I sat in on was Surfs Up, aiming to take an innovative approach to coastal water sampling with drones and a lab in a box concept. It wasn't long before the attendees got involved with questions and insights to help the project team progress.
So many questions. In terms of operational area, will you then have to create a no-fly zone for the areas that you want to operate in? But then also wind tolerance.
What we have got today is the ability to fly up to about 28 knots of wind, which is pretty high. That's gusting into a 4.7.
I got up and joined another carousel. And almost as soon as I did, this happened. Which meant it was time for everyone to get up and switch to another carousel. Things were moving at speed, and you could see that people were enjoying the format of this new event. It was time for me to talk to one of the architects of Northumbrian Water's approach to innovation, Chief Information Officer Nigel Watson. Hi Nigel, we are in the middle of this extraordinary boiler shop venue and everyone has broken into their carousels. So whilst that's happening, tell me a little bit about why this event is important to Northumbrian Water.
It's important to us, I think, from a momentum point of view. So we generate lots of ideas at the festival, which is great. And then the hard work starts. A lot of that, honestly, is quite grinding, getting the right collaboration agreements, getting NDAs in place. People ask us, well, what happened to those ideas from the festival quite often, and we'd like to be more transparent, and we always accept that we can't solve these problems on our own. So you're sort of like opening ourselves up a little bit and going, is there something here you could help with? Here's how we're getting on, here's what we've done so far. Let's say there's 5 ideas that are on the run here. If every single one of them came away and said, yeah, we got something that helps us, that would be good. That would look like a good outcome to me.
Who's in the room here today? I mean, everyone is dressed up in beautiful Christmas jumpers,
yes.
So, you know, no idea where anyone's from.
No, which is great, right? Because that means they're not all from Northumbrian Water, and the way we innovate is to innovate from the outside in. But I think we've got a lot of people from partners, there'll be some people from academia, there'll be some people who've just come along just because they're interested. It's that diversity of skills and expertise that really makes a difference.
And also, it seems like an event that is a bit like the main festival. There's a lot of fun. Tell me a little bit about that culture of blending fun with serious work. Is that just at the festivals, or is that something that you see more broadly in your organisation?
I mean, we try to do it in our organisation, but it definitely has a strong play in the world of innovation, I think. So we can all sleepwalk through life a little bit, right? We observe certain patterns, certain habits, and when you're doing that, your brain is not necessarily fully engaged, or it's engaged with following a particular pattern. So how do you break out of that? We feel like introducing fun is part of that, music is fun of that, making you do something different, try something different. That's definitely part of the innovation process for us. I mean, people are committing an afternoon here. Often people come to the festival and they're with us all week. How do we make that the best week they've ever had at work? That's definitely our North Star when it comes to engagement of the crowd that comes to the festival.
Okay, so we are standing right in the heart of the festival, in the middle of the floor. There's all these breakout sessions happening. Tell me how it feels to be in the middle of all of this when it's been a plan on paper until this point.
I feel sort of a bit excited because there's a lot of people who have turned up and I can see they're engaged. It reminds me of the first festival, right? And I paced up and down like an expectant father, thinking, okay, all these people have turned up, is something good going to come out of it? I always trust the process because we do these kind of things a lot. So I'm reasonably confident, but a little bit nervous.
So it's clearly a big investment in innovation. We saw that at the summer festival, 50 plus sprints, loads of ideas came out. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of commitment. So in a nutshell, why is it worth it for Northumbrian Water to put this level of investment into innovation?
Yeah, I think you have to step back is why do you need to innovate? And actually, if you look at our business and what we're being asked to do, what our customers are expecting of us, regulators and other stakeholders are expecting, versus the money we're given to do the job, there's a gap, right? If we just carry on doing more of the same, we're just going to be staring at that gap, and that doesn't feel right. So we have 3 change levers in our business. We have continuous improvement, as you would expect, transformation. Innovation's that other one, so it's a little bit riskier. And so we're stretching ourselves there a little bit more and finding a way to plug the gap. So where transformation might give us efficiency, operational efficiency. Continuous improvement might give us also operational efficiency like 1 or 2% each year. This might give us some big steps. It might give us some game-changing ideas, some things that really make a meaningful difference. When you run 50 sprints at the festival, we can almost certainly count that one or two of those ideas will change our industry, and that's what we've seen.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nigel.
No, thank you very much. Pleasure.
Walking around the event space while all the project carousels were in action, I wished I could be in 5 places at once listening in on everything. Impossible, right? Well, let's try harnessing the magic of podcasting to make it possible. Using snippets of recordings from the audience headphones, here's a quick-fire audio tour that eavesdrops into the different carousels, just like tuning between stations on an old-fashioned radio.
Have you considered this? Please let us know, because I say we don't know what we don't know.
8 different types of data that we might collect.
What does good look like actually doing the repair work, but in this case, the design information.
We all understand that robotics is out there, it can be used.
There's a lot that we could help you with as part of that project.
As you just heard, ideas, suggestions and contributions were flying in at breakneck speed, but the Christmas bells meant it was time for a break. And while the mince pies were being served, I grabbed one of the project leaders to get their verdict on how the event was going.
Hello, I'm Richard Seals, Head of Engineering for Northumbrian Water.
Richard, we are 2/3 of the way through today's event. You've been in one of the sprints, obviously. Tell me how the event's felt to start off with.
Really upbeat, really engaging. Everybody's really sort of getting involved and asking relevant questions. It feels like there's a real want for people to support and actually make a difference.
I sat in on one of the carousels that you were part of. There were some really interesting questions. Is there anything that you've heard today that has surprised you or that you might take forward into the project moving forward?
One really good, I think, ad was in the last session where somebody sort of suggested that we bring asset health into the idea of the actual Wisdom engine itself, which I think is a good build. What is becoming more and more obvious is there's lots of disparate activity going on in a similar space. So I think there's a real opportunity to bring together a lot of the work that's going on in the AI space, and Intelligence, who are supporting us on this sprint, probably have the opportunity to bring some other data sets in.
How does it feel to be getting feedback quite rapidly from so many people?
I guess a bit affirming. What I'm getting back is a lot of people saying, yeah, really good idea, which is really good to hear. I can see it's got legs, I can see it's going to deliver value. And then other people are building upon that and connecting the ideas, but move at pace at the same time. And this definitely helps us move at pace. So having 3 lots of different people who are hearing this potentially for the first time, giving us their immediate response, is just super valuable.
So from a project leader's perspective, the event was clearly creating value, which was great to hear. While there was time before the closing speeches, I wanted to speak to a few of the really diverse group of 200 or so attendees at the Booster event to get their thoughts.
Hi, I'm Justine. I'm a design innovation strategist from the Blooming Platypus.
So you've just been in the Surf's Up carousel. Tell me a little bit about what you heard.
Well, it was quite interesting actually. They've developed like a drone basically to go out at the sea and take samples of water to see like the state of the coast and the quality of the water there. Like, I've never heard anything like this, so been very interesting. The main thing is not necessarily the challenges they're facing, but the process they've been through and how quickly they've been developing that. They're already phase 3 of their project when the festival was like 6 months ago? It's pretty amazing, isn't it? How quickly things happen. And I guess as an innovation professional, I find that quite inspiring, like seeing project that actually getting take off like after a design sprint and something that is viable, got like some real legs to it and can make big change for like people living on the coast, but also like for the organization.
How was it like being here? This is the first time they've done a Christmas festival. It sounds like you've maybe been to a few of the summer ones. How does this feel as an event?
I love it. I love the Innovation Festival in the summer. It's always super exciting. It's my best week of work in the year, but having one in the winter feels like a treat, you know, like an extra one that you weren't expecting, a little secret present. I'm loving it.
My name's Louise, I'm one of the ASSET graduates.
My name is Mary and I'm also one of the ASSET graduates who joined in September.
So both of you have only been working in the water sector for like 10 weeks. First time you've been at one of these innovation festivals. Louisa, let me start with you. What have you made of today's event?
I think it's nice to see cutting edge information being given, bouncing off ideas. It's really nice to see movement within the water industry. There's so many new technologies coming our way. It's just really nice to be a part of it and understand where we're going in the future.
So Mary, you had to choose 3 out of the 5 carousels. Which 3 did you go and join?
So I'm very interested by AI. I think it's something that was always kind of brought up at university. When I started university, that's when ChatGPT kind of became a bit of a thing, so I am very interested by it. So I did Gen AI in the water industry, Wisdom, and then I did robotics as well.
For me, I'm mainly working on like water treatment works, and AI is huge, so I think implementing and using it alongside what we already have could just develop it so much. I think the future's going to be massive for it. It's great.
I'm here with Philip Agathangelou. Tell me what you've thought about this afternoon's event, Philip.
I thought it was great. Loads of energy, fantastic way to close off the year. Yeah, I mean, we travelled up from London today. Definitely a journey worthwhile. Really happy to be here. CK Delta, we're part of the CK Hutchinson group. We're an AI solutions company. So for me, the one that stood out particularly was the Gen AI water sampling. That's the one that really stuck out to me. Definitely helped with some ideas and some thinking for sprints we'd like to get involved in.
I'm Jessica Carl from GHD. I'm a client development leader and super excited to be at the Northumbrian Innovation Booster event. I think this festival has had a super strong focus on data and being able to apply machine learning to draw out those insights. And it's events like this which create the iteration and the fail-fast culture that we need in this sector. Things like this which disrupt, which challenge, which create that radical change is so incredibly important for shaping the future that we need to have.
Time had flown by, and at the end of the afternoon, the event was drawn to a close by Northumbrian Water's CEO, Heidi Mottram.
Okay, thank you so much for being here this afternoon. I think what all of us know, what all of us who I feel like have become disciples of this process of the Innovation Festival that is so much wider now than Northumbrian Water, is the difference that it all makes, and the innovations that come through that make a difference for this sector, this industry that we all love, and the service that we provide to our customers, or the environment, or all the goals that we're aiming towards.
And as soon as she stepped off stage, I grabbed her for a quick chat. Heidi, tell me a little bit about your reflections from this afternoon.
Well, I've come away, as always, really inspired, because we all know that in the festival we generate loads of ideas and a real buzz, and people come away with, innovations that they're determined to introduce. And then they've got to go back into the real world, haven't they, and start doing their job again and keep these things going. And so what we wondered was, could we give another boost to it halfway through the year?
So the whole point of the Innovation Festival in the summer was about speed and scale, and then the whole point of this booster was to just put the foot to the floor a little bit and accelerate that. Do you think you've achieved what you were hoping for from the event?
Definitely. What struck me is how much progress has been made, first of all, but how they were still asking for support in one way, shape or form to get them into that next phase. And that's what we know, like sometimes things stall for the smallest of reasons, and just a little tweak and off we go again. So it's a place to come back to that supportive hub and to re-energise and to go again.
Right, so it is the end of a brilliant afternoon. Just a couple of final reflections from me on the Northumbrian Water Christmas Booster Innovation Festival. One is that there has been some real progress made since the festival in the summer. I was sitting in the Surf's Up carousel hearing that they're on to phase 3 of taking a drone out to sea and dipping a water quality sampling device in the water and bringing real samples back that they're analysing in a lab already. So there's practical stuff that's happening, and that was reflected in all of the 5 sprints that I got to listen to. And the other one is how willing people were to take on board new ideas, find connections. It felt like a real conversation. This wasn't an afternoon of presentations. This was loads of discussion, loads of engagement. So a really fantastic afternoon. It's been great to see how much progress has already been made, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens between now and next summer when Innovation Festival 2025 kicks off. Before I go, what about the future part of our past, present, future theme? Well, after the event, it wasn't long before a voice note from one of the project leaders popped up on my phone.
Hello, so this is Craig Holmes working on the Soft Vine Robotics project in conjunction with the National Robotarium. I was quite overwhelmed and excited by the amount of support that there was for our project. Something that came out of the Innovation Booster Festival was that one of the asset managers from Brand Sands has actually advised us that they have got their own test rig, which actually represents a live environment but isn't connected to any kind of mains water or sewage. So that could be a really good next step for testing the soft robot and sort of proving the concept and its capabilities.
And I'm reliably informed that all 5 of the projects have significantly moved forward as a result of the Christmas Booster. With 200 or so attendees, 5 projects advanced towards even further progress and a sled load of festive cheer. I suspect we'll be seeing Northumbrian Water's Christmas Booster Innovation event make a welcome return next year. I'm Nikki Roach. That's all for now.